各位好，Hello everybody, and it is Dr. Wang. I'm the first direct example of Master Tang. Today's topic is inheritance, reconstruction, and the development of Tang's acupuncture. Master Tang was born in 1960 and May 23rd, so this month is his 105th birthday. We memorize him. And in Ling Shu chapter 1 says that those who regard the lingering disease as incurable are actually unskillful in doing acupuncture. The Master has look like the same words, say disease is not inherent. If you get it, the disease you get it, just treat it. All this means the acupuncture can treat a lot of the disease. Okay, if you are familiar with the acupuncture, you're skillful is good enough. So after 40 more years practice Tang's acupuncture, I think you should see this word to describe Tang's acupuncture. First, S is simple, E is easy, E is effective, and effective, easy effect. And this is the Tang's acupuncture has been acknowledged by many acupuncture practitioners around the world. And Dong Dong, this word in Chinese character, Dong this word, if you use a Hanyu pinyin, that is Dong. But in the 1970, around 1973 years, and in Taiwan, they use the Wei Gel, the pinyin, Wei Gel pinyin, not the Hanyu pinyin. So use the TUNG. 1973, the translated book is Tang's acupuncture. So now we continue use this Tang. And the Master Tang, the hometown is Shan Province, Taiwan, in the Pingdu County, Shandong Province. It's in the north side of the Qingdao. It's a very beautiful harbor city of the China. And this Pingdu County, okay. And the Master Tang's family, his original family should be here, okay? It should be here. And in the Pingdu, there's one very important family, Tang's family and sister home in Pingdu. And in Pingdu, they have records say that all the Tang's family is come from, all the Tang's families is come from Chuan in the 14th century after a big civil war. That is this home. The Chuan is in here and Pingdu in here. It's a long way to go, okay, in the 14th century. And when Master Tang 21 years old, in 1937, he crossed the river, okay, to join the anti-Japanese guerrillas and the Shandong Factory 36 columns. And my father was the chief, the staff in here 3 years, so they make a good friendship with the Master Tang. After Second World War, Master Tang moved to the Qingdao. Then he rejoined the Free China Army to against the Chinese communists, but failed. So withdrew to Taiwan and moved to Taiwan in 1948. And in 1964, he retired from the army. Then he set up his Jinchang Zhenjiu Zhenzuo, Qingchang Acupuncture Clinic in Taipei. This is a Jinchang Clinic, okay. The door is in here, Master Tang in here, and here the most important, his disciple is 1973, the Tang's textbook assistant editor, Mr. Yuan, okay. This clinic has 40 beds, okay, to treat the patient. And this is his business card. If you want to understand, you can read about the heart disease, liver disease, everything in here. You can read about this one, okay. And in 1971, February, in the Southeast Asia, there's the Khmer, the martial long note, has a stroke problem, and the French doctors and the USA doctor cannot treat his condition, so he sent his secretary to Taiwan and invite Master Tang to his capital on for 22 days, 那么 treatment and had excellent result. And this in 1972, he just shaking hand with the doctor and sent him the big elephant tooth and the metal gold and the metals to Master Tang. The Master Tang is famous in international, and in Taiwan there's one son, one acupuncture. His name is Zhang Yumin. He just plagiarized the Tang's acupuncture poems and published one book. Tang think that is not ethical, and he should make decision to publish the whole picture of Tang's acupuncture. So published his textbook in 1973. 那么 inheritance and reconstruction, Master Tang think Chinese chiropractic is a long history, easy spent over these 2,500 years. But there's many important writers, the acupuncture sense, okay? But their book, the entire textbook, but because the textbook, the word is laconic and cryptic, is hard to read. So the traditional the key way to understand the the picture in practice and transmit the acupuncture is use face to face, mouth to ear. That is from master to disciple, and the secretive and the selected way to transmitting the acupuncture that hinder the development of the acupuncture. And Tang's family acupuncture is the same way to transmit. Okay, to transmit. So, but his ancestors textbook. His ancestors. His family acupuncture is different from the traditional 14 channels and different from traditional 365 points. Okay, Tang's acupuncture is its own origin and its own tradition. But his ancestors' writings destroyed by the war. Okay, but fortunately, they still keep the tips of the family acupuncture. Tips of use the year to face, try to use a memorable way from one generation to one generation, use a memorized way and the transmitting. And Master Tang has a very strong memory and memorize all the tips. Okay, and from tips to develop the complete Tang's acupuncture need time. So from 1949 to 1968, he used 300,000 patients to verify the Tang's acupuncture complete system and its effects. Okay, that is very important. After practice and prove everything and rebuild the Tang's acupuncture, the reconstruct the Tang's acupuncture or rebuild the Tang's acupuncture. Master Tang, so he didn't want to the family acupuncture tradition fail to the history again. So he accepted his first disciple in 1962. Okay, and they used in that time because Western medicine is more popular, so he used Western medical terminology, used nerve to mention about the channel. In Chinese, you use 神经 to mention the jing, like a lung nerve. That means it's a lung channel, and that is hide his Zhang channel system in the anatomy section of the 1973 book. And in 1973, my father urged, he just the last group, except the last group of the disciples, including like Wei Yang, Barton, Wei Yang in California, Barton in Toronto, Canada. I'm in Chicago. And he passed away on October 5th. And there's many rumors about his death. But from my view, I understand there's because in that time, in 1973 to 74, there's one Taiwan tourist man told him the medication way. I think that the medication way is not good enough it's not fit to the mother tongue condition. So I thought it's my case. Is the why he passed away just in the 60 years old. And this the disciples list is altogether has 75 disciples. And this is the more famous one, and he has a book, Chinese book and English book, the name in here. If you are interested, you can try to find their writers. And this is the first 1973, the textbook. And this book he gave to me, and with his signature and ink, but not all disciples has his the signature and ink. Is only the few disciples. I'm one of the few people that have his signature and ink. Okay. And in the same time, in 1973, and the last group, the disciple and Pat Powder, and translated to the English, or it's a tongue acupuncture, and the pattern in 1988 he added the therapeutic chapter, okay, and the Republic of this book as the tongues orthodox acupuncture, okay. Maybe you can buy in the market. And before that, in the 1972, he had one draft put in his one of his best acupuncture friend book. And this, but more importantly, in the 1968, he had one manual printer, the note. Okay, this note is the basic of a 1973 draft and 1973 the textbook. And this note is only for some disciples, not all. And this is the clinical note is for the long stroke. Every time in 1970, 22 days, 1972 is 22 days. And this is if you study with him in his Chinese, in here is his Chinese, okay, tongues acupuncture institute. So Master thought his family acupuncture is a Chinese tongue acupuncture, not Taiwan acupuncture. You can say the original is tongue acupuncture is from China, but developed in Taiwan, but actually it should be the tongue acupuncture, Chinese tongue acupuncture. And this is what I followed Master Tang to learn, okay? The observer, what he did in the clinic, and then you ask a question and he will answer you. He never taught you actively, only you ask and he give you answer and push you to read more the text. Oh, this is my way to learn, okay? And the point in here, I wrote the indication. So again, this is my study way. And the master think, but there's two things very important is that all in the 11th centuries, and he is the acupuncture frozen man is 365 points. Everybody know this one, okay? But another one he think very important for Chinese acupuncture is 5 zang, organ figure. But but not too many people don't know this one. I think it's because tongue acupuncture is a 5 zang organ, 5 zang organ system. So he just a special mention about this one. It's very important. And still, I don't think Chinese acupuncture has an interrelation with Taoism. Okay, with Taoism. And this is the bronze figure rebuilt in the 14th century. And this one now keep in the Russian St. Peter city. I think is a Winter Palace Museum. And this is Japan. They replicated the bronze of the man figure now in Jingdo and the Japanese museum. And the 5 zhang, these 5 figures is the world's first meticulous drawn human anatomy. Is because after 56 criminals beheaded, then dissection and make this shot. Okay, but this shot is not too many material. Only in one book. Only this figure is only kept in one book. This book is 寻经考学篇. Okay, in the 19th century, the book. Okay, only in this book you can read it. And this is a 5 zhang organ figure. It's very close to the Western anatomy. Okay, and character of Tang Acupuncture. Tang Acupuncture in this way. Tang Acupuncture just put in the fingers, hand, and the forearm, arm, and the foot, and the leg, and the thigh, and the ear and head. Okay, this is what from, and the fingers pointed to the heaven, and the foot is attached to the earth. Man is between the earth and there's a harmony between the heaven, earth, and man. So some people saw the Tang Acupuncture didn't know how to reinforce how to reduction. That is wrong. But Tang Acupuncture only is a very simple way to do this one. It's the upward twist. That is clockwise is for reinforcement, and the counterwise is a downward twist. Is for reduction. For simple way, it's very close to one very important acupuncture text. I think it's a tip text, 标优赋. I think I have English translation. Okay, in the Amazon Kindle, look like I have this book. You can. I will recommend that you read this one. And another one is put not the point is not to follow the 14 channels. It's only put the body part. It's very close to the 针灸甲乙经. Okay, the 针灸甲乙经has an English translation too in here. And the Master Tang said, okay, so if your diagnosis is exact, you follow the 5 zhang, the theory to do the examination, to do the diagnosis, and pick the point by 5 zhang too, and the accurate and needle technique is skillful. You know how deep you should insert needle, and will get a very good result. Okay. And this is the dorsal points, dorsal back points. That is 5 elements in here. It look like a rosu. It is the same thing. It's very beautiful. And what? And actually mention about the 5 why the channel you can mention about the tongue's anatomy is different from the Western way. Okay. And this one is mention about the 5 elements and as the basic of the treatment, because for the interest harmony, the 5 zhang qi. So this one is show the mention about the earth, heaven, earth, and human, and should be the harmony. Okay. And this is the neck one is 7 stars. The thoracic is 5 ranges. So Tang Acupuncture system of 5 systems, 5 elements, and the 5 zhang organs. So in the first time he treated the wrong nose, and the first day the diagnosis is a lung. Is mentioned about the lung, kidney, spleen, liver, and heart. The most important is he has a stroke in the February and treatment in the November. So kidney has a big problem, the pigment deficiency. So this is the first he used the lower 3 emperors. That is treated the kidney yang and the open kidney, and is treated treat the kidney in. So it's follow the 5 zang organism and the 5 zang organ and the diagnosis and the insert needle is the same thing. 就是pick the point is the same thing. 就是 5 zang way. Okay, this is the palm. Okay, is palm diagnosis. From in here, index finger in here, that's the lung channel, and in the middle finger is heart. In the ring finger is the liver and the spleen, and in the little finger is kidney, and the ulnar side is kidney. Okay, two. Like this way, it's very easy way. Not too complicated. And this one is in the 2017 in the Sichuan, you know, Tang's the family is come from Sichuan, and in Sichuan they found the very important the bamboo pieces book, and they mention about the 5-color diagnosis. Okay, that belong to the Bianque school. So it's maybe they have relationship with the toxic puncture. I'm not sure now. So anyway, Mr. Yuan Guoben, assistant, and he wrote me a letter, say, okay, Master Tang told him first to find the root cause first, insert needle, then find another syndrome and then add a needle to treat for the treatment. So the 5 zang, the channel is first, then find another way to treat. Okay, and this is the toxic puncture usually use 4 diagnosis way. Okay, you can use a 5 diagnosis to find the mechanism of the condition, then find where to come, the disease to come. For example, if you have cough, the cough is come where to come. Maybe it's come from the lung, is maybe from the kidney or from the heart, and from liver is different way, and the condition is a mild disease or the moderate or the severe disease. And this one, if you are interested, please read the difficult issue and difficult issue, the 49 and the 79, difficult classics. Okay, 49 and the 50 issues you can read. Okay, you can understand more. Okay. So this is the 5 zang, the disease, for the mechanism that is in the Chuan chapter 74. And toxic puncture, even for the internal medicine, he used read the palm, everything. Okay, and the tongue, and the palm, and take pulse. Okay. If only a pain clinic, you only observe, mostly only observe the palm, observe only, but the insert needle only 1 or 2 needles, mostly 6 to 8 needles. Now recently, some people teach the toxic puncture say use over the 10 needles. That is wrong. The Master Tang always use not over the 8 needle. Over the 8 needle is not toxic puncture. Okay. And this Master Tang's clinical notes. Okay. For liver disease, only 3 is a needle to the upper 3 yellows. That is the liver points. And if because the liver condition, so add the 1 kidney is a water generator, the wood added 1 kidney point. Okay, this deficiency should be 25 mother is the 5 element theory. Same thing, this one, the finder is burning, the stuff and the burning from the subternal to the Shanwan point. He thinks the pericardial is inside 1 needle in hard channel, in hard point, and treat it immediately. Okay. And this one is a flank pain. Actually, flank pain sometimes we think it's a liver disease, but this liver disease is after read the Palmer, and I understand it's because qi and the blood on the kidney, the palm channel is abnormal, so they treat use Shui Jing and in the facial kidney point, and to treat this very good. So above everything you know, Master Tang, diagnosis and treatment all follow the 5 organ or 5 element way. Okay. So in a word, toxic puncture is a 5 system zang action, and traditionally is 6, and the 5 plus 6 and the complete is the complete Chinese acupuncture. So use tantric acupuncture, you can use a tantric acupuncture and the traditional acupuncture together, and you can get a very good result. Okay, thank you very much.